This is a lucky rifle. This is one that was in camp. It's a Model 70 Win. It's one that I have enjoyed shooting. In fact, it's so lucky that I shot my mule deer buck, as you know, in like just a few hours of hunting with it. I didn't get to spend any time behind it. I thought it would be good for this Predator show. It's got enough horsepower to reach out. I'm gonna beat you with that rifle.
Well, the neat thing about both these rifles is they're plenty enough horsepower here. So in case we bump into a 200-inch mule deer, we both still have deer tags. We can put that one in the back of the truck for the Predator. This week, my choice, factory Remington Sendero. This rifle's chambered in 7mm Remington Ultra Mag. Now, this is a medium to heavyweight barrel that's been fluted. It's stainless steel, comes with a factory muzzle brake, and it's topped with a Leupold 6.5 to 20 power scope. Now the scope does have adjustable turrets, but the caps are secured. I'm not going to worry about that. Most of our shots are going to be under 200 yards.
And the last thing that coyote, that bobcat, and that fox is going to see is have a nice day. In my hand, the 264 Winchester Magnum. This round has very little recoil rate, extremely capable of shooting out to 1,000 yards, even though the bullet is a 140 grain VLD, very long range, very low drag in the air. It's got a hollow point at the tip of it, extremely high BC. Coming out of the muzzle at 3220, so it's no slouch. Definitely over the 3,000 mark, you've got something that's nearly, you know, a high pressure Magnum.
On my left hand here, 7mm Remington Ultra Magnum. This is loaded with a 140 grain Nosler ballistic tip. That bullet has a ballistic coefficient of .485. And with this ammo, that bullet's leaving the muzzle at 3,315 feet per second. A little bit overkill for predators, but in case they're running, it'll get there quick. But around here, for coos, deer, and mule deer, it'd be perfect.
So we're going to be going head-to-head competition for the bobcats. We've also got the fox and the coyotes that we're going to be targeting. Ray, what do you got? What are you going to be using?
We're going to be using a Fox Pro. This is our Firestorm, a very high-end digital call. It's been around forever. It's got a big name in the industry, but I think there's some new competition in town.
Exactly, and this week I'm going to be using a Western River call. This thing has several hundred calls inside of it. It's extremely loud. It's got a digital controller. It's got some really good sounds in it. And then here we go with the little rabbit. Now when a coyote comes in, he comes in aggressively. He wants to eat whatever he's listening to. He's keyed on that call, he goes right towards it. With a little thing like this, it distracts him from looking at us, makes him look at the rabbit, and most likely, who knows, this thing might even end up with some teeth marks after we're done with it, right?
I think that's going to be a big benefit to Jimmy's team. We're actually maybe going to grab a live rabbit and make him not so live and use that.
Really?
Why
Are you
not?
telling me your strategy already?
Here we go.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Well, good morning. All of the guns are sighted in and it's head-to-head competition.
Now, it's the first annual Sonora Darkhorn Predator Contest.
We're gonna grab the calls, and from about a half an hour from now until dusk is the allotted time for us to be able to shoot as many bobcats, foxes, and coyotes that we can bring back. So
Now, and we have a point system. Coyotes are worth 1, fox are worth 2, bobcats are worth 3 points. Now, I just heard of a new rule if we want to throw this in. Headshots are double, but I'm going to leave that up to Jimmy.
I'm in.
Okay, headshots are double. You heard it. Now, the other rule is...
You gotta bring him back to camp.
Right. If you kill them and don't go get them, they don't count. Doesn't matter
You understand that rule, right, Ray?
I understand that rule.
Okay. It's just gotta bring a piece of them because the gun I'm shooting, there won't be much left.
You still got to bring whatever's there. So if it's that bad, you still bring it.
I'm telling you guys, you should actually get together and do these type of competitions in your own state because obviously a lot more deer are gonna be left over because we are doing predator control today.
That's right. In a country like this, it seriously needs it. We're on 36,000 acres, and there are goodles of coyotes.
Now, I can guarantee that the boys from Texas know all about game conservation and culling, and that's what we're in for today. So the boys from Arizona are in real trouble.
Let's go do it. Ready? Jimmy, get your team geared up. My guys are all ready to go. Both of us are running electronic collars and big caliber rifles. Let's see what happens.
Now, Ray is extremely competitive. Those of you that have watched him on the network, I'm not kidding you, he loves to compete at whatever it is. It's just in his blood. Now, I am a lot less competitive than he is, but that doesn't mean that I don't like a little competition between the two of us.
Maybe use that as a bonus for later. Okay, we're started. First truck out of the gate. We're ahead of Mr. Burnworth and his Texas team. We're going to show you how this really works. Because this team will win this contest. Trust me. What are you doing?
I wish you were an electronic call. I'd mute you.
Thanks a lot. I think your call's
I push mute. You're still talking.
You know what? This, I wish I could just change the channel for you. I don't have to put up with you. So first thing in the morning, we dash out of camp. We get about 3/4 of a mile from camp, do a quick set on kind of an old runway. We know we have plenty of open ground. We set up, dump the caller out. And guess what we call in? Jimmy and his team.
He takes off from camp first. We head to our top secret spot, and who's there? Already up on the high rack calling. We got the entire ranch. We got millions of acres to hunt, and they're hunting where we're hunting. How's that work?
Jimmy, he's already messing up my first set. Can you believe that? We called in a truck full of hunters. See the call works?
How's this work, Bunny? Taking our spot too?
We called in you guys.
Our strategies were completely different. They were basically going to take the high rack, they were going to run around and see if they could call these dogs right to the truck. I'm going to climb up into these small remote basins. I'm going to use the height and elevation to my advantage to be able to call, hopefully at distance, and be able to get above these animals. When they come in, I'll be able to have a nice concentrated shot on them, and I won't be rushing it like I would on the ground. It'll allow me to see a lot further.
Pretty good vantage point. The wind's really clipping.
Our second setup, set up and start calling. What do we call it? An old Hereford bull. My team is itching to break the ice. Finally, on the third set, we call a single coyote in. John, are you ready? He comes blazing in, switches directions on me, gets ready to leave, finally get him to hesitate. I pound him with that 700 Ultra Mag. Gotta hit you. One point, one coyote in the bag. Third set.
We got up there with one of our first sets. We put the call out, we start calling, and I look up and here comes two dogs. And they come at an absolute dead run. Just as we started to get the gun on them, they caught our wind and they turned around and they started to run. And one of the coyotes broke off to the left, and I was able to swing on the other one. He's coming right underneath the canyon wall. I grab the gun, and just as he starts to go away, at a little over 200 yards, I swing through him. I swung through him right here while he was running away, and just poleaxed him with that 264. So, we're gonna go pick up our coyote. The big #1 team, Jim's team, already has a dead dog. So we were walking up on our very first coyote. It was not even an hour after dark, and we already had our first point on the board. There we go. There's our coyote. Get in here, boys. Thank you very much, guys. We are on the scoreboard. We're on the scoreboard. Well, one on the board, Mr. Bunny. Let's see what you got.
First annual Sonora Darkhorn Predator Contest. Now this is a team event. Jimmy has his boys from Texas. I got a couple great guys from Arizona. It's all about points.
For all you guys that wanted Ray and I to compete head to head, this is definitely the show to watch. Here's the scoring system as it's laid out. Coyotes are worth 1, foxes are worth 2, and bobcats are worth 3. If you head shoot them, they're worth double. And we're going head to head competition, and I think I've got a few tricks up my sleeve.
Finally get into about our 5th set, and here comes a coyote. We catch him way behind us, and because of the wind, he's making this huge circle. He's staying about 150 yards out. He's gonna circle all the way around. Goes all the way around the back side of the call, comes clear around because he saw the vehicle. Keep in mind, we're hunting off a high rack. We're not trying to hide this vehicle. This coyote's smart. The 18 is in business. Just smoked that dog trying to sneak. He circled all the way around. Came from back over here, across the road. I watched him, just caught him. He kept about 150 yard distance, came all the way around, and he hit this, and he never did stop. I shot him trotting right there. 2 for 2.
We're up on top, just started the calling, and we're not as high in elevation, but we're definitely up far enough that we're going to be able to see from a distance. So we're hoping we can look for some bonuses. So we're hoping that the bobcat's in here somewhere so that we can really put some points on the board. You know, and then if we did a headshot, it'd even be better. So we're going to focus and hopefully be able to find something here quick. We had a fox come in really close. That would have been worth some good points. There's a little one who's absolutely beautiful. Came right into the, tucked underneath the rocks, and we had a bunch of bushes in front of us, and by the time he got cleared the bushes, he was running away. He came in and busted us. He came in too close, the call was too loud, and he ran out of there. Doggone it, perfect setup. Had what we needed to make it happen, we just couldn't capitalize on it. Oh, this gun wants to eat too.
The wind started to blow harder and harder and harder. And when the wind blows like that, the animals, number one, don't move as much. And then number two, they can't hear that call and they don't respond as good as they would if there was a calm day outside.
We're looking for a way to slow these dogs down, so we thought, you know what? There's no shortage of bait here in the desert. What we need is a big jackrabbit. So the next round, we took us a jackrabbit. Now we've got a bait and an electronic call. Things are looking up. And at about the 10-minute mark, guess what shows up? A nice big bobcat, and he's coming in hard from the right, and he could care less about that vehicle. He is so zoned in on that call, he doesn't even look at the vehicle. I think here's a chance for a headshot. We're 6 points.
Hydrostatic shock, the displacement of water or liquid.
Now, for all you custom reloaders out there that are buying VLD type bullets, there's VLD hunting and VLD match. So pay attention next time you're in the sporting goods store.
These are a little long-range bomb. Earlier in the summer, Ray and I were able to use the high-speed camera. We took a beef heart and we encapsulated it in some ballistic gel. You won't believe it. Watch this.
It's a little messy. And at about the 10-minute mark, guess what shows up? A nice big bobcat, and he's coming in hard from the right. I let him come all the way in. He actually runs right up to the call and he grabs the rabbit, and he's tugging on this rabbit, trying to take it away from us. And that's when that 700 went to work.
Is that a headshot, Ray?
That should be a headshot.
Oh, this shit put us in the mud.
That cat was trying to help us out.
Oh, cats are off.
Big old bobcat. Okay, now that has to qualify for a headshot. Chop Earl has to make the decision on that. That's why we have a referee. That's a nice big cat.
6 points, fellas.
That is some pretty cool footage.
There we had been 5 or 6 hours into the hunt, and we're realizing that we've only got 1 point on the board. But I thought, we have a couple of hours left. Let's work really hard. Let's go as fast as we can. Let's get up into those canyons. Let's try to call those predators. I was very impressed with this particular 364 Model 70, and then the bolts started to play havoc with me. And this gun really wasn't working for me, so I went ahead and grabbed a Gunworks gun with a Night Force on it, 300 rum. I had to swap my choices around this week, but I think I was better for it.
We've been trying these Predator calls. I mean, that's cool and all, but I really think we should just do like Aaron Lewis, Granddaddy's Gun, or maybe a little Led Zeppelin, AC/DC, Scorpions, Twisted Sister. That we'll call in the Predators. That's what you call laying the hammer down. Predator control. Sonora just paid tax. A beautiful, beautiful, beautiful fox. Just gorgeous. Feel really privileged to be able to take this fox today. But again, they play havoc all over. Predators have to stay in check as well as everything else, and so it's just part of the management program, no matter what kind of property you have.
Now with 2 coyotes down and a marginal headshot on a bobcat, that tells me I'm sitting at 8 points. That's a great start for the day, but it's not good enough. Jimmy's a heck of a shot, and I've got to definitely make 10 to 12 points. You know, the roughest part of the day is we've got a lot of wind, and it's very difficult for these animals to hear that call. We're having to sit a solid 15 minutes just to make sure that anything within earshot has a chance to come in. And what comes trotting in from over 300 yards away? Another bobcat. This bobcat's not stupid. He's going to use a little bit of cover. I watched him come all the way into about the 150-yard mark, and he disappeared behind the bank. And all of a sudden, it showed up right next to the caller.
Wait. Don't move. Ready?
Nice, Frank. Beautiful cat. Where'd you hit him? There was too much cover there to risk a headshot. Boys, that's 3 more points. That cat was not stupid. I wasn't going to give him the opportunity to get me on that one.
The day wasn't going as well as it should have. The time just kept slipping away, and we were getting further and further away from our goal.
Even though the day's been extremely windy, we've had a hard time calling anything in. 2 bobcats, 2 coyotes. Jimmy, I wish you the best, but I think I got you today.
One thing I know about Mr. Bunny is he loves to compete.
Just a little bit.
All right, all the carnage is on the ground, and now we're going to show you the results.
The first annual Sonora Darkhorn Predator contest. We won.
We're gonna have to come back and do it over again. Anyway, here we go. I ended the contest with a fox and a coyote. And Ray, what do you got over there?
Now you've got to remember, coyotes worth 1 point, fox worth 2 points, bobcats worth 3 points. So we decided to shoot 2 coyotes, 2 bobcats. So that was 8 points.
All right, Mr. Bunny, I just want to congratulate you. You did a good
Thanks,
job.
Jimmy. Appreciate it.
I mean, don't get used to winning because it doesn't happen often.
Oh, I don't know about that. Just don't mess with the A-team from now on. The Arizona boys are serious.
Really?
But anyway, good job.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Congratulations. Good job.
Congratulations.
Good job.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it, sir. Good job, man. Good job.
All right, guys. Sonora Darkhorn Adventures over here in Old Mexico out of Sonora, where the predators are mighty and the competition is